Miss Muskan Boyde, our ex-humanitarian.
How are you all? Today, I have a question for you. Has it ever happened to you all when you come up on stage and all of a sudden, when you hold that mic in your hand, your heart starts racing, your palms get sweaty, and everything goes wrong in that one freaking moment? If you have ever felt this way, raise your hand. Raise your hand if you have ever felt so nervous that you forget everything that you have prepared. Great, I can see so many hands raising. Thank you very much. I am Muskan Vaidya, and over the years of delivering speeches and hosting in more than dozens of events, I have realized that there are certain patterns and there are certain skill sets that, if followed, can make your public speech amazing. Straightforward, I believe in these 4 principles, 4 P's of public speaking that, if followed, I believe, I don't care how old you are, I don't care which year you are in, I believe that you can literally change where you are and take the journey to where you want to be. So let's begin with our first principle, preparation. Preparation is one of the most important factors for a successful presentation or public speaking. I say this because in 2014, I participated in Classic Little Miss and Mass Nepal, and I remember preparing it with my sister, everything. So we used to get a list of questions just before the final competition, and I prepared everything with my sister except for one question, which I assumed was not important, and mostly because the answer that my sister wrote for me was quite long. And to my surprise, I got asked the same question which I thought was not important. And I could literally hear in my background, regret bhayरहेको हैन, मन्चिसो भइरहेको हैन. But I managed to answer that question. I remember struggling so much to answer that question because I was not prepared for it. Because I was not prepared, I ended up being the first runner-up and not the winner. So you see, when you're not prepared, you're gonna start a speech like, "Hi, this is Muskan." And over time, you don't know what you're speaking. Your content gets lost. So preparation here will not only help you to understand your subject matter well, but will also make you more confident towards the thing that you're working on. So next time you have a presentation or a speech, make sure to prepare well. And prepare as in writing down each and everything that you're about to speak, which will make you more confident while speaking. And next we have is practice, practice, and practice. Here, practice is the key. The reason I say this is because in 2019, I got the opportunity to host in 13 South Asian Games. You can imagine the excitement of a 16-year-old girl who just got the opportunity to host in such a big international event. Everything went well until the 3rd day. What happened in the 3rd day was, we used to get a list of names that as a host we needed to announce for the award distribution ceremony. And that one time I didn't practice the names out loud, I made a big blunder. I had to call former minister, let's call him former minister ABC. And I mistakenly addressed him as former Prime Minister ABC. After that, I'm so glad that organizing committee didn't kick me out. But my point here is, even the slightest errors and mistakes can lead to bigger problems. And practice here helps to minimize those possible errors. Practice is the key. If you have a chance to speak in front of 10 people, practice it 10 times. if you have a chance to speak in front of hundreds of people, practice it hundreds of times. Because the more comfortable you will get with your content, the more confident and comfortable you will be while delivering it in front of the people. Now, next we have is presence of mind and use of voice. For this, for a moment, let's imagine that today is the most important interview of my life. And you all are my interviewers. You all are my interviewers, okay? So I come in with full of confidence, preparing all the possible questions, all the organizational goals and strategies and everything. And all you all ask me to do is, okay Muskan, do something that will make us stand from our chairs. For a moment after hearing that question, I would be freezed. I mean, what type of question is that? Make you stand from your chairs? And after thinking for a while, I start to sing. Any idea which song I'll sing? That will make you all stand from your chairs. Exactly, very smart. Yes, I will start to sing. And by the time I reach to Joy Joy Nepala, you all will be standing from your seats. Am I right or not? Yes. By this answer that I just gave, how many of you would have hired me as an interviewer? Raise your hand. How many of you would have hired me for the job? Great. See, that's the power of presence of mind. Because, sometimes things won't go as per your plans. You have to be prepared for every challenges, every circumstances that life throws at you. And you have to be like water. You have to be like fluid, adaptable in any vessel, adaptable in any circumstances. And you have to be prepared always. Now talking about use of voice. Tell me which sounds better. Hi, this is Muskan Vaidya. Or, hi, this is Muskan Vaidya. First or second? Second. Yes, obviously the second one. So while speaking, you should always vary the pace, pitch and volume of your speech. Because that's the way you captivate your audience. That's the way you impress your teachers. That's the way you make a good speech. So presence of mind and use of voice is one of the most important keys to a public speech or a presentation. Now, next principle we have is positive visualization. And before moving on to this point, I would like to ask, how many of you have watched this movie Luca? Raise your hand. Yes, I can see some hands raising. Great. If you have watched this movie, you must definitely remember the phrase Silenzio Bruno, right? To those of you who have no idea what I'm talking, let me tell you. Alberto here is the main character's friend, and he talks about Bruno. And Bruno here, we all have Bruno inside us. We all have. Bruno here means all the negative self-talk that comes into our mind. For example, remember when your alarm rings and your mind just goes like, oh, you have had a very rough day yesterday, you deserve to sleep more. Or, oh, it's too cold, let's just sleep in our blankets for 5 minutes. Those all are Bruno talking. And remember when you're going to give a presentation or a speech and your mind goes like, oh my god, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I don't think I'm gonna be that confident. I think I'll just mess it up. Everything, that's Bruno talking. And because you listen to your Bruno, you actually end up getting nervous. You actually end up messing it up. So instead of listening to your Bruno, you have to say, Silenzio Bruno. So even in this movie, these two friends are about to jump off of a cliff in their homemade Vespa. And Luca here is very nervous about the outcome. Very nervous. And Alberto assures him, hey Luca, don't listen to your Bruno in your head. It's just in your head. You have to come out of it. And let's just go for it. And they just go for it. So in real life also, we should not listen to the Bruno in our head. We should not listen to all those negative self-talk in our head. Because those negative self-talk are not letting us explore ourselves to our full potential. Don't let any negative self-talk, don't let any Bruno talk you out of your potential. Now, positive visualization, all I meant was, often we, human beings, it's the nature of human beings to always think negative. And even before I was gonna come up on the stage, my Bruno was saying, "Hey Muskan, are you sure, are you confident that you will be able to do it? Are you sure you'll be able to live up to the expectations?" And all this Bruno talking in my head, and all I said was, "Silencio Bruno," which means, shut up Bruno. What do you need to say? Silencio Bruno. Come on, everyone, say it with me. Silencio Bruno. So whenever Bruno comes in your head, you have to say Silencio Bruno. Hey Bruno, shut up, let me do my thing. So positive visualization here is visualizing yourself being the best version of yourself. In fact, I think people aren't afraid of public speaking. They are afraid of the consequences. The consequences, as in, will I be more confident than he or she just did? Will I be able to do better than he or she did? Will I be able to do better than my friend? What will my friends say if I mess it up? Will my crush like it or not? And etc. So instead of visualizing all these negative self-talks and negative things, visualize yourself giving the best speech. Visualize yourself being more confident, being the most fluent that you have ever been in your whole life. And see the results, it will shock you. Because we become what we think. So, remember, whenever Bruno comes in your head, what do you need to say? More louder. The Bruno needs to hear. Exactly. We need to say Silencio Bruno. That was a very short session from me, Muskan Baide. Thank you, everyone.